What's up guys, my name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and welcome back to another short Terraria quick guide on how to spawn and defeat the Martian invasion. The Martian Madness is a hard mode post-golem invasion event that includes an entourage of several alien themed enemy types that attack the player's base. You can summon this by finding the Martian probe like you could see at the very start of this video, and basically finding the probe it will trigger the event, but you have to not defeat the enemy. So once you find the Martian probe, it will turn from blue to red, and letting the probe fly away will basically act as a scout to call in the Martian invasion. This works exactly the same as the Goblin Scouts do in order to call in a Goblin invasion. Usually if you leave a Goblin Scout who's been alerted to your position, then a Goblin invasion has a chance to start shortly after. Letting the Martian probe fly off into the sky allows the event to occur randomly shortly after detecting the enemy. If the probe escapes, then the event will start. This basically requires one player to have 200 health for the event to actually occur. Now you can tell the event is occurring because it will show you the message Martians are invading, and the background layer of your screen will actually have flying saucers jotting around in the background, so this is the indicator on how you know that the Martian event started. But you need to be around the default spawn point or around where your house is located for the Martians to actually begin spawning. So you'll see at this part in the video near the beginning, the Martians didn't actually start spawning until I was actually close to my own base. Basically, the Martian Madness invasion works in a way where there's one large wave which is tracked by a progress bar in the bottom right hand side, which you can see. Now some different invasions like the Pumpkin Moon have different stages and phases, but the Martian Madness, just like pirate invasions and goblin invasions, just have one wave, which is one big wave which totals to 100% completion. Now the Martian Madness has 11 different enemy types, and there's also one mini boss which is the Martian Saucer, which is going to be the tougher boss to defeat. Now the Martian Saucer is a really cool enemy to defeat because this is the one that gives you a chance to drop the Cosmic Car Keys, which is how you're going to get that really awesome flying saucer UFO mount that lets you fly around in the sky. This is the reason why Martian Madness is a really good event to do in Terraria, because in order to complete a lot of the late game bosses, especially the ones that fly around a lot like the Lunatic Cultist, you're really going to need that UFO. So I'd recommend doing this invasion stage before even trying to do the Lunatic Cultist, because I needed the UFO to actually defeat that boss. Other than that, there's some pretty good loot. There's a really nice laser minigun and a few other really nice melee drops such as a sword, and that's why the event is beneficial. It's really easy to tackle this if you have the right weapons. I'd recommend at least having the Terror Blade by this stage, which you can see that I have. I will release a video in the next few days on how to craft the Terror Blade, but along with the Terror Blade I also had the Mega Shark, which you can see here packs a huge punch. If you have tons of ammo with that, then I recommend using the Mega Shark and the Terror Blade for melee. You can also use the Daedalus Stormbow or the Sniper, which I have too. The Daedalus Stormbow is really good for clearing a lot of enemies in an AoE style fashion at the same time. So these are just tips on how you start the Martian Madness and the weapons you can use to defeat it, and you just get to the end and get to 100% completion and the event will completely finish and you can get the drops. Now the spaceships will despawn if you don't defeat them after a few attempts, so make sure you have the right strategy in place to defeat them. I'd recommend doing the Martian Madness battle around about the area where your base is, so you should have an arena set up like I do on the left hand side, where you have tons of different wooden platforms you can jump around to kite all the enemies on so you don't die as much. This is really important, especially when you fight the flying saucers, especially if you want to get the loot from them and not let them despawn. So make sure you fight those around your arena setup, because even though they're mini bosses, they still do pack a punch and they may be a little bit tricky depending on the loot you have at this stage in the game. So that's the Martian Madness mini guide. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you next time.